Hello, Desert Sunset families, and welcome to our first episode of Parent University. I'm Mrs. Dirksen, the principal here at Desert Sunset, and I have with me Mr. Morales. He is our school counselor, and so we are excited to start this series with you called Parent University, where we are going to be sharing some information with you, and other people, other experts too, will be sharing information with you. But first, let me just say how excited we are to begin the second half of the year with your students, and we just have had such a great year thus far with our kiddos, and just come off some really exciting times with the holidays and benchmark testing and parties and food drive and that kind of stuff. So we are super excited about all the many things happening here. But today, we really want to just focus on 4 things with you that we think that you're going to find valuable, and we want to share those with you. So they are going to be leadership opportunities that we have here with our students. They're going to be the year's focus, kind of as a whole school community, what our focus is going to be with staff and with teachers. And we're going to talk about volunteer opportunities, and also we want to talk about celebrations and expectations, because those are really important to us here.
Yes, correct.
So I'm going to start just by talking with you about what our focus is this year at Desert Sunset. And actually, it's a district-wide focus this year. And we have been talking about with the staff growth mindset and what it means to have a growth mindset. And so what I want you to understand as parents and as families is that a growth mindset is how we feel when we're facing a challenge or a setback. When something becomes really difficult, that's when we need to have a growth mindset. So helping our adults as well as the children understand to say that it's okay if they don't know and if they need help, because we know that when we allow that struggle, that's when we're going to grow, when we're going to improve. And so challenges are not bad. And we just want you to really reinforce that at home too with your students as they're working on things, whether it's schoolwork or it's anything else that they're doing, that they may not know how to do those things yet, but we believe they can, and we believe in the power of yet. That's something we talk about. And we also believe, with our Kids at Hope kind of fits in with this nicely. But I wanted to share a quote with you from John F. Kennedy.
Awesome, yeah.
And this is just a great quote. He says, "We do things not because they are easy, but because they are hard." And so if things were just easy for us in life, we wouldn't be learning, we wouldn't be stretched, and we wouldn't be growing. So we want to make sure that you at home can just help us reinforce that growth mindset and demonstrate that for your students. And as I mentioned, our Kids at Hope philosophy ties right in that with perfectly, because our belief here at school is that all kids can learn. They will be successful. They may not have mastered the skills and the tasks yet, but they will be. And we know that growth and comfort cannot coexist. So we know when growing, even physically, right? Sometimes our kids have growing pains, and when that happens, that's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. So growth and comfort cannot coexist. That's something that our superintendent has reminded us of this year. And then just as we kind of wrap up growth mindset, quote from Teddy Roosevelt, another president.
Yes, another president.
He says, and I love this quote, he says, "Believe you can, and you are halfway there." So that's what we want to instill into our students, is that we believe you can, and you will. You're just not there yet. So just keeping that growth mindset as we go throughout this whole year in all aspects. And then we also want to talk about some leadership opportunities that we have here for our students.
For sure. So leadership opportunities are very important here at our school. One of the leadership opportunities that we have here would be Safety Patrol. So Safety Patrol is something extremely awesome that we have been doing for the past 2 years, I believe, right? This is the second year. So students are basically chosen by teachers, and they are going out into our parking lot, where they are actually helping students and parents cross in the crosswalk, basically. And they are also just helping our traffic move forward, making sure everybody's okay. You will see them out there with their flags, with their vests. I mean, they are great leaders. They are role models, and they love what they do. So Safety Patrol is pretty awesome.
It is, and we partner with AAA for that.
Correct.
So AAA of Arizona is the one that's provided all that stuff. So it's things that they've been doing at schools for years and years. And so it's fun to have that on our campus for students.
Correct, yes. The next leadership opportunity that we have is called the Coyote Coin Table. So the Coyote Coin Table, again, we have students, a lot of them are volunteers and some are teacher chosen as well. But what we do is we actually are giving coins out throughout the week for good things that students are doing in our campus, whether it's in the classroom or whether it's in the hallways. Again, if we see something good, we give them a coin. At the end of the week, we have teachers, they choose two, I believe, two students at the end of each week, and they are able to go to the Coyote Coin Table, which is in our cafeteria, and they can get some prizes, really cool things like pencils. We have all kinds of goodies. I mean, we have everything. We have spinners. We have all kinds of stuff. So it's really cool that they get to go shop, and our leaders are there helping them with their shopping, and they make sure to always smile and tell them good job by the end of their shopping.
That's great.
It's
That's
pretty
great.
cool. I love it. Next one that we have here is student council. So student council, students actually had to run for these positions. And again, students were able to vote for them. So we have our committee of student council, and they actually do a lot of volunteer work here on our campus, as well as, for example, concession stands. They, for our Veterans Day celebration, they were able to help and set everything up. And again, they were even able to help with the school dance, I believe. And currently, right now, they're doing a, what is it, a canned food drive, right?
Yes,
so
it is.
that's pretty exciting, and they're doing such a good job. So again, student council is a quite a great opportunity. I
And
would say.
they also have done some fundraising,
Yes.
and they have purchased. They've ordered. They're not here yet, but they've purchased benches for our playground. So there'll be benches that kids can sit on
Yeah.
during recess time. So that's exciting. That'll be here soon too. So yeah, they had just a great asset to our
Yes,
school.
I agree. Next we have DSN, which is Desert Sunset News. So Desert Sunset News, we have students who are actually running the news, which is pretty awesome. So again, I believe they were also chosen by teachers. And just if students want to participate, they could always come talk to the coordinator. There's always good opportunities there. And we see DSN every week, which is pretty awesome. And you can find all the DSN videos in our YouTube channel, actually. So that's pretty amazing. Next, we have our tour guides. So our tour guides basically are students who, when we do have new students, these students are able to come and give them a tour about of our school, show them where everything is, and they are great at doing that as well. I'm not 100% sure what they do.
They do.
Yeah.
They do them once a week as needed, and they get a tour of the whole school. They meet teachers. They do this during their special area class so they don't miss class time.
Right.
And they give the new students a little gift package from PTO, and it's just a great time for those student leaders to be able to meet some of the new faces on campus. So then when they see each other, they say, oh, there's,
Right.
so-and-so. They were my
Yeah.
tour guide. And so that just is another good connection for them. So they do a great job of
That's
that.
awesome.
Yep. One of the other things we wanted to talk about is celebrations, because that's huge to us
Right.
here at Desert Sunset.
Yes.
We want to celebrate student success in all areas, and we just wanted to make you aware, so in case you're hearing of these things, lots of classrooms and grade levels have their own behavior incentives, and those are quarterly. I think some just had some. And they set their goals. We also do perfect attendance celebrations
That's
for
awesome.
classes.
Yes.
So if class gets perfect attendance for 4 days in a row, then the class is already predetermined as a group what they would like to do for that special celebration. We also this year recognized growth on our benchmark testing. So not just like if they've scored at the top, but
Right.
how much they've improved. And that's important to us to watch that growth for students. And so we recognize them. We've had, beginning of the school year, we had celebration where we recognized our EL students. That's our English language learner students who did well on the Zella test last year and made growth on that. We had celebration for students that were proficient and highly proficient on the state test, the AASA
Yes.
state test. So we just like to really celebrate those moments of growth and all those kinds of things. One of the other things that we've added this year is something called Raising Expectations, and we have done one of those. They happen quarterly, so the next one's getting ready to be in January, and it starts with an assembly,
Right.
and students are given certificates for different things that they've accomplished during that assembly, and then they're able to self-select a special activity to attend. So just as a reminder, we sent this information home at the beginning of the school year, but those celebrations are for students that have no failing grades, students that have less than 4 days absent for the quarter. They've shown growth in their benchmark testing and that they have no major office referrals. So if for some reason a student has been sick and absent or hasn't made the growth that we were hoping and expecting, then during that special activity time, they get to get some special tutoring. They go to a classroom with a teacher in their grade level and they get support that they need and hopefully get to help close that gap because we really want everyone to be successful and want them to continue growing. So those are important to us. One of the other things we said we talk about with you today is volunteering because we love parent volunteers.
Yes, we sure do. And teachers appreciate it too.
They do.
Yes.
They do. And we have had quite a few, Mr.
Yes.
Victor, this year coming on our campus. But we wanted to make sure that everyone knew that parents are welcome on our campus anytime. As you mentioned, the teachers love
Yes.
having them in the classroom. We love having watchdogs. We had our first go-round of watchdogs in the fall. We're getting ready for our second watchdog recruitment night. And we'll be excited to have those dads back in the classroom again. And I know, like you mentioned, teachers love the support. And just wanted to let you know, because I know sometimes there's questions about what kind of clearance do people need to have to come in the class.
Correct.
So if you are working in the classroom with teachers still supervising, you are free just to come in and arrange that with the teacher, please, ahead of time. If you're going to be chaperoning or supervising children where there's no staff person around, then that would require a fingerprint with the district. So, but just coming in to help and volunteer is totally great. You can use the copy machine. You can come in and help in the classroom. You don't have to have a fingerprint clearance part for that. So, and I also know that PTO is always looking for volunteers at their once-a-month events, and even they have things going on. Like they provide things for teachers and students during the school day too. So if you're interested in any of those, please reach out to us, and we would love to connect you. You can reach out to your child's teacher or to us at the office if you need to get connected at a different space.
Correct. Yeah.
And Mr.
Awesome.
Victor, this is our first episode, but we have lots of other ones coming up. Tell us what's coming up.
For sure. Yeah, we definitely have more episodes coming. So the upcoming episodes basically are based on parent feedback. So again, there was a survey that was sent out where, they were asked, or you were asked, what you want to know more information on. So these are the top, I would say, categories or that people want to know more about. So
this is what we're calling this Parent University, right?
Yes.
So that we're helping you learn what it's like in the space here at school because they're not here every day, right? And they don't have all the teacher lingo.
Exactly.
So we are helping you as families understand and get a better grip on the things that we think would be helpful. So I'm sorry.
Correct.
I'm
you're
excited
okay.
about this. So
yes, for sure. So the first one is going to be testing. So testing, we are talking about when we do our benchmark testing as well as our state testing. So we want to just make sure that you are understanding what these tests are for and how you can read the data and what we're looking for whenever we do this type of testing here at our school. So it is very important. I believe the state testing is towards the end of the year. Is that correct?
Yep.
And the benchmark is throughout the school year.
It is.
So again, we just want you to know and understand how we do this process and what we use it for, okay? The next one that we do is, or the next topic I should say, is supporting reading at home. So we understand that sometimes we have students that may be struggling a little bit with reading, and parents want to know how can we help them at home, and what can we do to give them more support. So during this video, you're going to learn a lot more on what you guys can be doing at home to support your students, and that way they can show improvement throughout the school year. So that's going to be really fun. And the next one, we have behavior matrix, and which is going to be basically for behaviors, right? So for the behavior matrix, we are going to have, I believe it's going to be Mrs. Balos.
It is Mrs.
Where
Balos.
she is going to be talking more about how the behavior matrix works here at school, what we have in the handbook when it comes to the behavior, and even maybe how we run behavior here at school, correct? Like, so again, she will go over that, and that's going to be great information as well. And the next topic we have here is bullying. So I will be talking about bullying. And we're just going to go over the basics of bullying, how sometimes we can maybe confuse or a little bit about what bullying is versus, what confrontation can be. I'll talk about the differences. And again, I will talk more about like when we would consider a situation bullying. And
we did talk a little bit, right, Mr.
Yes.
Victor? You had an assembly with students
Correct.
in October, and we did talk a little bit about that for students. So it'll be helpful for parents to hear some of the
Yes.
same information.
Correct.
Good. Well, thank you for taking time with us today, and thank you to Mr. Victor
Yes,
for putting
for
this
sure.
together, and we're excited to get this out. So this is our first episode, as we mentioned, but be looking for these. We will be emailing these out or sending them out via Remind so that you can click on the ones that are interesting to you and learn a little bit more about what happens here at school.
Correct. Yeah, so it's going to be really exciting. We are super excited to start this here at our school. And again, once we start making these, you guys can find them. And again, if you have any questions or any concerns, you can always reach out and we'll be more than happy to help with that.
All right. Thank you.